Alright everybody, welcome to another vlog. We are here in Milton Keynes in Atlas Gym. I'm here with my dude ABs. We've known each other for a couple of years.
What's going on, guys?
Back in the day I actually gave him one of the original oversized jerseys for free. And I think we have some pictures.
I'm actually looking for it.
He's looking for the pictures.
I'm looking for it.
So ABs is British champ 14, 15, 16. And Arnold Classic
Once, 15,
once
15.
men's physique champ. So he's got a real good physique, that's what we're trying to say. Yeah, this is a little bit of an impromptu vlog. I'm headed to Uganda tomorrow, so I'm mad with packing, trying to sort everything, but we did arrange this. So we've driven up. I'm going to shoot some pictures with ABs, we're going to give him some clothes. Oh, okay.
The original. What's the date?
Yeah.
17th of April 2014.
Yeah, we got it.
That's our old.
That's some old school love.
Representing, man.
Yeah.
Representing.
Alright, so we're going to shoot some pictures. Nice lighting. We'll do a little bit in here. We'll pop outside as well. Might grab a video. I always say that. So let's rock and roll. Alright, so we've done part one of the shoot. We've got some really cool pictures of ABs in and around different areas of the gym. We're going to pop outside, there's some cool scenery, take a few more pictures there, and we're going to wrap this up. Alright, we're done shooting. ABs is freezing his tits off.
Freezing to death.
We're gonna go home. I've got a pack. ABs has been a superstar. We're gonna get some pictures up of him soon. Just want to say goodbye to the fans.
GYMVERSUS. Been 4 years.
4 years, man.
Waiting 4 years. I waited 4 years for the shoot, man. This guy waited 4 years for the shoot. I'm waiting. But it's finally happened. So yeah, it was a good day. Cold but fun. So hopefully you guys will enjoy watching the video. And yeah,
this is now the ABs vlog. ABs actually does YouTube, so I'll link his vlog down below. But for now, we're gonna head back, get some work done, pack, and end the vlog.
And eat. Check out the website as well. GYMVERSUS. More things coming up. I know it's cold, man. I'm
All right, everyone. It is 2 o'clock, and we've been up since early o'clock. We're back here now from Milton Keynes. ABs is a superstar. Thank you, brother. What I'm going to do is, I'm in between a lot of things. Tomorrow I'm going to Uganda. That's a whole separate side story. But I've also got to go and pick up football shirts that I've had printed. They're ready to go today because we're sponsoring a football team out there again. I'll go into that another time. But for now, I think what I'll do is I'll show you some of the pictures. I'll show you a little bit about my workflow. And if you're interested in seeing how I edit some photos. Alright, we're back. So, as much as it would be nice to be on here, I'm a little bit rushed, so we're going to do something on my laptop. I just want to say off the bat that you can't edit, or you can't polish a turd necessarily. So, you really want to take a picture with the edit already in mind, with the lighting already factored in, everything. There isn't much that I do to pictures in post, so really this isn't the magic formula. What you do with the camera before and when you take the shot is 80% of the result. So we got ABs here. We've got a nice little bit of blur from something in the foreground. We've got a nice focus here on the logo, and I think straight off, what I always do is I look to just move the exposure up or down, and I always expose for someone's face. I think it's important, if you look at Instagram analytics or with what does well, you tend to go for cooler images, so images that have the white balance to a bias more that's blue rather than orange, so left side rather than right on here. And also images that are just brighter, that catch people's eyes. Next tip and trick, okay, is if you want your image to be really big on Instagram, let me show you. This is one of my pictures. So if someone's scrolling through, if you want a full size image like this, the ratio you want, if you come up here, go to your aspect ratio and select 4:5. So what that does is that will crop in and it will cut off the tops and bottoms. And for the most part, I shoot 90% in portrait mode. So what then is also really important is if you shoot your pictures framed like this, you're going to screw yourself, because when you go to crop in on a 4:5 ratio, you end up losing 15-20% of your image. So what you want to do here is roughly then space this image so that the clothes look good, ABs looks good. You can go with a rule of thirds here. So possibly, like, for me, I just go with what feels right. So we'll go maybe here. You can have a little preview of what it comes out like. It's not really easy to edit without a mouse, but anyway. So for me, next up, I would say control your highlights. There isn't really a problem here. I would boost shadows, just especially with black clothing, enough so that I can see the detail in the clothing. But at the same time, I go back down and I will push the blacks a little bit lower, just so we have more of a contrast. Okay, and for me, probably the most important thing is the whites. I like to push the whites up, as we can see, so that it adds, again, more contrast, but it really makes the picture pop. If someone doesn't have great skin, I will go in and I will hunt around. I will make little corrections with the spot tool. Oh crikey, size one. I'll bring the size down. So AB's has good skin, so I wouldn't have to do much. But for instance, I could clean up a couple of areas. I'm really not a big fan of, I mean, I can't use Photoshop that well, but I'm not a big fan of over editing photos, because it's not natural and it's not fair, and there is enough Instagram versus reality pictures that are showing a discrepancy between real life and overly edited, overly unsaturated backgrounds, done up tans, and I won't go into it. So for me, I don't want to edit too much. There we go. I would work a little bit on someone's skin. For me, I might boost the clarity just a little bit. So you can see this will smudge, make it smooth over, or really, you know, for me that's like 2015 sharpening effects. It's too much. But a little bit will just help with the clarity on the logos, maybe in the eyes, etc. I always then bring the saturation down, just because I do that with all the pictures, just a notch, okay? And it adds to the theme of the Instagram page. Then what I like to do is just head down. I will play with the colors. I normally take yellow out a little bit, but because the background's yellow, I'm not going to completely strip that away. Maybe a little touch like this. Occasionally I like to add a little teal into the photo. This, with the color balance the way it is, isn't needed. It's a very typical look on Instagram to see teal in the highlights and oranges in the shadows, like so. What I was saying earlier is how you take the picture, how you frame the picture, the lighting is really important, because right now I don't need to do much. I couldn't fix this by stripping away yellows and fixing the exposure. If it's a crap picture, it's a crap picture. Say no more. So scrolling down, I don't really touch sharpening. I will put on noise reduction luminance between 50 and 70, because it helps just smooth someone out. I don't really like overly sharpened images, to be honest. I always flick on chromatic aberration in case there's any coloring issues or purple fringing. I normally hit enable profile corrections. This tends to reduce vignetting. As you can see, it's made this a lot brighter everywhere. So what I'll do is I'll say yes to it, and then I'll probably pull the exposure down so it's not too bright. All right, moving on is leveling the image. You can do this automatically. It may or may not work. There we go. Or you can come up here and move it around. So what we'll see, here is the before, here is the after. It's not a huge difference, but this one definitely pops over this one, which is a little more bland. But the picture in itself, in essence, is a really nice picture. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a nice little backdrop on how I edit photos. It doesn't take too long. When you're in a shoot as well, a little sneaky trick, not to be lazy, is, let's say I would copy that. I'd copy that effect. If I'm in the same environment and the lighting hasn't changed, you can kind of just paste through the next 5 to 10 photos. So you can cheat your way through, and you might need to fiddle with the exposures on some of them, but for the most part, you've kind of set up almost like a LUT that you can run through most of those photos until the lighting changes where you go outside. But yeah, I'm using the latest Lightroom, Adobe program. I think I pay like £30 a month. You can get the whole package. That's a sneak peek into how I arrange my workflow, how I edit my photos. All right, so the next time you see me, I'll be filming myself. I'll be in Uganda for 10 days. I'll be back on the 11th. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I'm a little bit in between places. I need to pack, I need to hurry up. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.